There are some situations where using a storyboard makes sense, like on smaller projects. But as it gets bigger, then you might want to switch to using nib files in the same project. And vice versa, you might have nib files and have a certain section or flow with a storyboard. This video is about how you can combine both nib files and storyboards in the same project. So here's the project, and the idea is we have a table view which takes us off to a nib file, which is here detailViewController.nib, and that can then take us back to the storyboard and this screen which I've called show. And if I have a look at the simulator, then you can see the table, and we can go off to this detail screen which is a nib file, and then we go to this show screen. So what's happening is we're going from the storyboard, then to a nib file, then back to the storyboard. So let's see how that works. So from the main view controller, we are pushing the nib. So it's in the same bundle, so we are okay for that. And we just specify the nib name here, and we push it onto our navigation controller. So here I'm using a navigation controller to control the stack. So that detail view controller, which is here, and I think it just has a single button on it, or maybe a label. And if I remember, the files owner is going to be detail view controller, and here if you set it up separately from the file, you need to set the view, and the view is set to view there. And the interesting part is here that we can find the main storyboard again. We can instantiate the view controller, which is called show, on the identifier, and then pushed on the navigation controller again. So this identifier is in the storyboard, and if I remember where that is, so in the view controller we have a storyboard ID which is called show, and it matches up because the show does indeed appear as you've seen in the simulator. And then show view controller, nothing happens. I've just printed out a log to the console, and that's it. So I found this a real situation where we started to have a storyboard within a project, and it starts to get too big, and you start to split out smaller nib files. So if you ever encounter that situation, well, probably it'll be a bit easier now. And I hope you've enjoyed the video, and maybe see you on the next one.